the atmosphere here charged would be doing it a disservice. It is positively electric in this place as we get you set for postseason baseball on the show. It's Game 1 of the American League Championship Series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to our special postseason coverage of baseball on the show. I'm joined by Eric Karros and Steve Lyons. And Steve, let's take a look at how these two ball clubs got to where they are.
Yeah, and you can see how these two teams stack up. And it's hard to say exactly who you'd give the edge to right now, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if the pitchers were the guys that got the upper hand in this series.
The postseason is officially in full swing. Lineups and first pitch coming up next. Back now live as we count down to the start of Game 1. Let's join public address announcer Mike Carlucci.
And now, your 2017 Detroit
Briefly now, we'll look at the two starters who get the ball here in Game 1. The guys will have much more to talk about as the night progresses, but first, let's have a look at the starting lineup for the Baltimore Orioles, as Buck Showalter's crew will line up like this. They'll go to work against this fellow right here, Venezuelan-born right-hander Anibal Sanchez. And a quick look now at the defensive alignment behind him for Detroit. Noriaoki will get his first cuts here. Here's the ball hit pretty well and carrying to deep right. KALINE is there and he makes the catch for the out. KALINE will get his first cuts here with two gone. Now the pitch. Here's a hard hit ball back up the middle. And Hardy will make a stab at it, but it's by him into center, a base hit.
That's got to be encouraging for these guys so far. They're facing one of the tougher guys around, and that's 2 hits now here in the first inning. And that ball is smoked.
Adam Jones will stand in now, and you have to say he was one of the real bright spots. Lander deals the 3-2. And that pitch misses for ball 4. So some intrigue now as the bases are loaded here with 2 away.
Early struggles here with the man. That's 2 hits and a walk now in the very first inning. He's going to need to sort things out here pretty quick.
On its way from Verlander. And whoa, this is off the third base bag. And he'll reach first as they can't make the play on him. And the second run will score as that makes it a 2-0 ball game. KALINE will get a shot now with 2 on and 2 pitch on the way. Now here's a ball hit sharply toward the right side. That's in there, base hit. Now the relay home. And that's going to plate the runner from second as this is now a 3-1 ball game.
Now the pitching coach can come in and have Gordon hit his second hit.
KALINE will stand in to lead Verlander. He jolts this half inning to attention as the first pitch is hit into right field for a leadoff single. get another shot. Struck out swinging his last time.
After him, trying to get a punch up.
And this one's in the dirt. And he overshoots him into center field.
Looked like a two-strike curveball there. Behind the plate, you see him turn that glove over, go soft, try and make himself as large as he can, but this one manages to skip away, and it'll be a wild pitch.
Get him yourself right here. Let's go. Hey, get him yourself right here. Let's go, baby.
1-2. Got him on the good slider there. Swung on and missed as he's down on strikes for the second time tonight. R.D. Taylor to dig in now. A single and a fly out for him. Verlander deals the 3-2. That's hard hit back up the middle. And a diving try by Hardy, but he comes up empty, a base hit. And that'll bring in the go-ahead run from third. It's now a 4-3 game for Anibal Sanchez. Steve Lombardozzi. This ball's in the air now out to right field. KALINE is there to make the catch, and they'll get out of this with the lead intact. So a nice job there from the Tiger bullpen. Bottom half of the inning here in Detroit. KALINE will step in with the tying run on first pitch. Now a ball lined to the right side.
Find the ball, find the ball.
And that's in there, base hit.
Hold it.
Well, this game's gone back and forth all game long, so why should this game be different? You got the tying run in the scoring position now at second. And oh, by the way, you got the winning run on now at first. And you've got a pitcher out there that needs a ground ball in the worst way.
Now to Jones. And good contact there as this is hit high and deep to right center. Aoki will have plenty of room as he makes the catch, and there's a big out number 2.
I'm sure he'd like to have another shot.
Forced at any base here and 2 men gone. Nick Castellanos.
Strike zone's looking about the size of a tin can.
Swing and a liner toward the gap in left center. And this will find the wall out near the visitors' bullpen. And they will walk off with game 1 here at home.
Well, we're talking high drama here in the playoffs. A walk-off win here in the final at bat. And this place is going crazy right now.
Drama in game 1. A capacity crowd on hand here, and they're definitely making their presence felt. It's the second game of this ALCS between the Baltimore Orioles and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to our special postseason coverage of baseball on the show. I'm joined by Eric Harrelson, Steve Lyons. And Steve, an important ball game coming up here in game 2.
Yeah, you see a really good start for the home side. They did what they needed to do in the opening game of this series. And the crowd, that made a huge difference. They were behind their guys all the way, and boy, oh boy, were they loud. And I've got a feeling that not much is going to change here in game number 2.
The postseason is officially in full swing. Lineups and first pitch coming up next. Back now as we draw ever closer to first pitch. Let's listen in to public address announcer Mike Carlucci.
And now, your 2017 Detroit
Here, a glance at the 2 starters who'll get the ball here in this one. more from the guys as this one goes along. But first, let's have a look at the starting lineup for the Baltimore Orioles, as Buck Showalter's crew will line up like this. They'll tee it up against the ever-improving right-hander Rick Porcello. Steve Lombardozzi will get his first cuts here. Out in front as this is in the air toward deep right field. KALINE back in plenty of time to put this away, however, and there are two gone. KALINE will stand in now for the first time, coming off nothing short of
Out by chasing bad pitches.
swinging a ball pretty well hit out towards left center. The catch is made deep in the alley, and here comes the runner from third. And he will score on the sacrifice fly as he's in with our first tally of the ball game.
Well, from a defense,
they lead it 2-1. Steve Lombardo. Here's a fly ball now lifted in the air out to right. And he can't track it down. A base hit. Nelson Cruz. Swing and a ball lifted in the air toward the line and right. KALINE is over near the line now as he makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
And right here, you've got the right fielder shading just a bit towards the alley. And I thought he had too far to go to hit this ball, but he does close quickly out there, and he makes the...
Postseason baseball on the show is in full swing. It's Game 3 of the AL Championship Series between the Detroit Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to our special postseason coverage of baseball on the show. With me are Eric Karros and Steve Lyons. And Steve, lots to talk about here as we get ready for Game 3.
And guys, you know I don't like the phrase must win if it's not a must-win situation. It's so overused. But even though this is technically a must-win game, boy, you go down 3-0 to this bunch, well, you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. So they need to come up with a huge effort here.
The postseason is officially in full swing. Lineups and first pitch coming up next. Back now as we draw ever closer to first pitch. Let's listen in to public address announcer Mike Carlucci.
And now, your 2017 Baltimore Orioles.
Quickly now, we'll look at the two guys who'll get the ball here in Game 3. We'll hear more from the guys as the night moves along, but first, let's have a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Detroit Tigers, as their starting 9 tonight will look like this. They'll match up against a guy who's made great strides the last few years, the 6'5" right-hander Chris Tillman. KALINE will stand in with 2 on and 2 out here in the third. First offering. Now a hard hit ball back up the middle. And that is through into center field, a base hit. And the run will score from second as this ball game is tied 1 apiece.
It's so important to take advantage of any opportunity that comes your way. Here with 2 outs, That's a big swing of the bat, as he's able to pick up the RBI and tie up the ball game.
With activity. It's Game 4 now of the American League Championship Series between the Detroit Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to our special postseason coverage of baseball on the show. With me are Eric Karros and Steve Lyons. And Steve, lots of storylines here as we approach the start of Game 4.
And you can see the results right there. It's been about what we'd expected up to this point. Very tightly played, very tightly contested series so far. It sits at 2-1 right now, but I've got a feeling it's going to take at least 6 games, maybe even all 7 games to decide a winner in this one.
Set for what should be a good one. Lineups and first pitch are next. Back now as we draw ever closer to first pitch. Let's listen in to public address announcer Mike Carlucci.
And now, your 2017 Baltimore Orioles.
And briefly here, a glance at the 2 starters who'll get the ball here in this one. Guys will have much more to talk about as the night progresses, but first, let's have a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Detroit Tigers, as their starting 9 tonight will look like this. They'll go to work against a guy who's bounced around a bit, the hard-throwing right-hander Edwin Jackson. Push him out in front. Marcel. Late on the fastball there as this one's skied out toward right. And the 2-out threat will not come to pass as the inning is over. KALINE will step in. He's lined out.
Fastball up in the zone, but you're never going to get on top of that thing when it's up that high.
And no chance for Hardy. This is a base hit.
Well, that's a nice piece of defensive hitting right there. What I mean by that, with 2 strikes, you've got to open that zone up a little because you don't want to get caught looking at strike 3. So he lets it fly.
KALINE will stride in. He's the first pitch. And now the second pitch of the inning is in the air to right. And that will hop over the wall now as he'll be awarded second base here. It's a ground rule double.
Yeah, he gives this ball a pretty good ride out there, and I don't think he was going to be thinking about 3 anyway.
It's been quite a rough and tumble series, and this crowd is expecting more of the same here. It's Game 5 of the American League Championship Series between the Detroit Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to our special postseason coverage of baseball on the show. With me are Eric Karros and Steve Lyons. And Steve, this is still anyone's series as we get ready for Game 5.
Well, and now you can see they're down 3-1, so we're in that classic must-win territory now. They're going to need to win 3 straight to take the series. But as a player, you really can't think that way. It's time for that old baseball cliche. You got to take them 1 game at a time, and that definitely applies right here and now.
The postseason is officially in full swing. Lineups and first pitch coming up next. Back now as we draw ever closer to first pitch. Let's listen in to public address announcer Mike Carlucci.
And And now, your 2017 Baltimore Orioles.
And briefly here, a glance at the two starters who'll get the ball here in this one. More from the guys as this one goes along, but first, let's have a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Detroit Tigers as they'll align themselves like this here tonight. And there you see the starting pitcher they'll match up against as you look at his numbers on the right side of your screen. KALINE will get his first at. Now the pitch. And he turns this one around high and deep to center field. And this ball is gone. No chance to make a play on that one. Two-run shot to straightaway center. His first homer here in the series. And it's given Detroit a 2-0 lead.
And if he was guessing up there, he was guessing right because he's all over that thing like a shaggy dog, and he drives it over the wall.
Marcelo Zuna stepping down
That with the base hit right here.
Late swing, but he's still able to get a lot of this one out toward deep right field. KALINE is there now to put this one away for the third out as they'll strand that potential go-ahead run at third base. Orioles leave him loaded. This game is still tied.
This is really a great moment for these guys. They are the American League champions, and now they're going to get a shot to play for the ultimate prize, a chance at winning a World Series.